You too can stay safe if you do this.
When buying drugs, look out for the scratch pin on the body of the packet. Scratch out the silver-plated code to reveal a 2-digit code. Type PIN to 38353 to check if it's genuine. You will get an instant message. Example, fake. Don't use or OK original.
Even before you pay.
Text is free on all GSM networks. Nafdac has put the power in your hands. So, save not just money, but your life.
Nafdac, safeguarding the health of the nation.
Hello viewers, you're watching Nafdac Today. I am your regular host, Queen Obaseki. My guest this week is the Deputy Director, Public Relations Unit and Protocol, Nafdac, Alhaji Abubakar Jimo.
Thank
Sir,
you.
You're welcome to the program.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you.
Sir, information is power, very strategic to healthcare delivery system. So how are you going about this, reaching out to Nigerians?
Well, thank you very much. Like you have rightly pointed out, information is very cardinal to the regulatory process of the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC. As you are aware, one of the major factors militating against NAFDAC regulatory work is public ignorance, pervasive public ignorance, in the sense that most people are not educated, and they are not, even those who are educated, they are not conscious and aware of certain basic food and drug issues that they have to grapple with. To that extent, NAFDAC is under obligation to continue to inform, educate, and sensitize the vast majority of Nigerians on our regulatory processes. And we've done quite a lot in that realm, taking cognizance of the fact that, like we have rightly pointed out, if the average Nigerian consumer is educated and well informed, we believe that 50% of the problem of our effective regulation in the country is solved. That is why a lot of resources and energy is being spent on informing and sensitizing Nigerians. We have various platforms or channels for disseminating information to the average Nigerian consumer. Like you are saying, one of it is the ITV, Nafdac Today on ITV. It's not by accident that this program is designed. We also have several others on various television stations. We have Nafdac and Your Head television program on NTA, AIT, Channels Television, and even FR3, that is the network radio station, and over 15 FM stations all over the country in other states of the Federation. Then we're also on the BN television, and occasionally we also try to consolidate our appearances on the NTA International. So these are some of the platforms that NAFDAC is disseminating this information to the larger Nigerian society, not only in Nigeria, and also to our brothers and sisters in diaspora in Europe and in America. So to a large extent, NAFDAC has a well-coordinated and holistic approach in terms of informing and educating Nigerians. Then apart from the television station and the radio station, the electronic media, we're also very visible in the print media, not for the sake of talking, but the sake of educating the people about the very diverse issues and complicated issues that NAFDAC has to deal on day in, day out. So we have reckoned with the fact that there is a yawning gap between the information we disseminate and the Nigerian public, because not everybody has access to the formal media. I'm talking about the television and the newspapers. We use radio a lot. To that extent, we have seen a way of bridging the gap and try to capture other people who have no access to the formal media. And that was why we launched what we call the NAFDAC Group Sensitization Campaign, and trying to take the campaign against counterfeit drugs and other substandard regulated products down to the hinterland, to the grassroots level, where our people, the majority of people domicile, and they are vulnerable, they are poor, they are illiterate, and they don't have even the purchasing power to even buy the quality food and drugs, and they are also vulnerable to the pranks and plots of the drug counterfeiters, because they are not educated. To that extent, we have established what we call the NAFDAC desk offices in various local government, which was an outcome of sensitization campaign that was organized for the 774 local government chairmen in the country in September 2009. So that Nafdac desk office, as I speak with you now, is being established by the various local government councils. Some states have established theirs, and majority of states in the country have not done so. And we are using this medium again to once again appeal to the various state governments and the local government chairmen to ensure that they have the Nafdac desk offices in their various councils. This is very important because Nafdac has reckoned with the fact that we are thinly spread because of our very limited manpower, and the country is so vast, and the population of 160 billion Nigerians, it becomes apparently impossible for us to deploy one Nafdac personnel to each household. To that extent, one very ingenious way of reaching out to these people at the grassroots level is through the establishment of Nafdac desk in the various local government councils. So it's not another aspect of bringing up a structure, but to ensure that we reach out to the people in the hinterlands, because it's not possible for us to have offices in all these states and continue to fund them and pay salaries. And this is a very creative way of partnering with the local government and the various state government. So we appeal to them that they should establish, as a matter of urgency, the Nafdac desk offices in their various local governments. Then beyond the Nafdac desk offices, we have what we call the Nafdac Consumer Safety Club in secondary school. So these are avenues for Nafdac to recruit the youth at the formative level, at the adolescent, at the youthful level, into the campaign. This is one avenue of recruiting the youth at their formative level into the vanguard of the Nafdac campaign against counterfeit drugs and other unwholesome regulated products in the country. So this Nafdac Consumer Safety Club exists in several secondary schools across the nation. And every year we hold and organize an annual school competition where prizes and awards are given to the best students who came tops on the competition. So, and we also felt that this Nafdac Consumer Safety Club, the secondary school children, have been recruited as the Nafdac ambassadors out there, because in every home you have secondary school children, and these secondary children literally become the ambassador. They become the eyes, the watchful eyes of Nafdac in various homes, and try to educate their parents who have no access to the former media that we're talking about. So this is one way of bridging the gap. And everywhere we have also tried to scale up the Nafdac Consumer Safety Club to the adolescent level, because the problem of abuse of drug has become so rampant in the country now, particularly among youths and even among market women. Abuse of drug is common, especially the cough syrups containing codeine has been abused by so many youth in the various campuses of the country. So to that extent, we now have what we call the Nafdac NYC sensitization campaign that we have institutionalized, and we are working towards building up what we call the Community Development Service Group, the CDS groups, in various NYC orientation camps all over the country. And every year, our drug abuse division in Lagos moves around the country to lecture the youth on the dangers of drug abuse and why they need to stay away from drugs. So these are some of the campaigns that we are doing, and along the line we are also carrying out Nafdac messages to the various national orientation camps all over the country.
Okay, we have many languages in Nigeria. So how do you manage to communicate with those that do not understand English language?
Thank you very much. That's a very important question. Like I told you, some of these programs are not just in English language. Some of them are already being aired, transmitted in vernacular in the three major Nigerian languages. But it's apparently practically impossible for us to. We have about 250 ethnic groups in Nigeria and mother tongues. So it's not possible for what we have done to translate the major program Nafdac is running into the vernaculars. And we are doing that in some of the radio stations, particularly not on television, because radio, you agree with me, travels very far, even down to the hinterland. Even the nomadic Fulanis will stay glued to their radio. Research findings have shown that radio is the most effective instrument for disseminating information. So we are using that, and also trying, and that is why most of our grassroots campaign that we have organized in the recent past after the messages have been delivered in English language, it is also we have a master of ceremony that translates into the various vernacular, the local language of that particular state, not even just the three major ethnic languages in the country. So it is translated, and I think when making, I still acknowledge that there is room for improvement for us to also see how these messages can go down to the hinterland in vernacular. So we are working on that seriously, but we have started to translate that into vernacular languages.
Well, viewers, we'll take a short break now. We'll be right back.
You too can stay safe if you do this.
When buying drugs, look out for the scratch pin on the body of the packet. Scratch out the silver-plated code to reveal a 2-digit code. Type PIN to 38353 to check if it's genuine. You will get an instant message. Example, fake. Don't use or OK original.
Even before you pay.
Text is free on all GSM networks. Nafdac has put the power in your hands. So, save not just money, but your life.
Nafdac, safeguarding the health of the nation.
Welcome back. For those of you that are just joining us, the program is Nafdac Today, and my guest has been RJ Abubakar Jimo. He is the Deputy Director, Public Relations and Protocol Unit. So you're welcome back.
Thank you, Queen.
Okay, so we want you to throw more light on the issue of this SMS, this text message of a thing when you go to most pharmacies, you're told that you're supposed to see a scratch, a number on it, that you're supposed to scratch it and text that number. So how effective it is, on how many, what's the response so far?
Thank you very much. The introduction of cutting-edge technologies in the fight against counterfeit drugs has become a very radical approach introduced by Dr. Paul Ohi, administration since his assumed office. That was a fulfillment of his promise when he came on board as the Director General of Nafdac. He made certain promises and pronouncements, and one of it was to bring Nafdac's regulatory activities to international standard. And the introduction of the cutting-edge technology was a fulfillment of that. And one of the most potent of those technologies is the introduction of the TrueScan and also text messaging system. Like you rightly pointed out, the text messaging system has become the answer to the problem we have confronted with the counterfeiting and even the faking of drugs, especially the sophistication in printing technology that has made the use of Nafdac number to a large extent very, very unhelpful. Because prior to, we have often counseled the average Nigerian consumer that if they want to buy any Nafdac regulated product, they should look out for the Nafdac number, the location address, the date, the expiry date, the date of manufacture, and the date, the expiry date. But that is no longer possible because the Nafdac number is being faked, and even the packages are being counterfeited in such a way that it becomes very difficult right now for even the manufacturer of one product to distinguish his own product from the one manufactured by a counterfeiter. So because of the sophistication in printing technology. And we decided not to fold our arms, and that was why Dr. Paul Ohi introduced the use of cutting-edge technology as the answer to this problem of counterfeiting in the country. And we have made a tremendous progress and success with that. You enter a pharmacy shop and you scratch just like the scratch card you have with some of the major telecommunication providers. You scratch the card and you text the certain PIN number. And when you text to the call center, it tells you immediately whether the drug is genuine or whether it is fake. And but I must hasten to add that it is not all drugs in the country that are being regulated by now that has come under the text messaging system. The very life-saving ones and the most popular ones, particularly the anti-malarials and the antibiotics like Ampiclox, then we have Lonart anti-malaria drugs, and you have Glucophage by Biofem. In fact, Glucophage, the anti-diabetic drug manufactured by Biofem, a pharmaceutical company, was the first major one to be brought under the text messaging system. In fact, it was the first company that volunteered itself to be used for the text messaging system before others started joining. So as I speak with you now, we have not less than 10 companies that have enrolled on the text messaging system, and more others have indicated interest at various stages of joining the text messaging system. So in no distant future, you will begin to see several drugs that will be brought under this platform of the text messaging system. So much so that many Nigerians can now enter a pharmacy shop and they randomly pick some drugs they want to buy, and they text and scratch. And we also quickly want to add that when people enter pharmacy shop, they should scratch and text before payment is made, because once you leave the pharmacy shop, it becomes very difficult for you to collect your money, except you just want to report to Nafdac to take action. And the text messaging system has become a silent revolution for us, because it's like we have succeeded in recruiting over 80 million Nigerian mobile phone users into the vanguard of Nafdac campaign against counterfeit drugs. So if you enter into a pharmacy shop and make any discovery there and there, you phone Nafdac, and Nafdac will be able to know the address. Unlike before, when we have a fake drug and or even establish a suspicion, you have to begin to start tracing where the source of this counterfeit drug. Now it has become very easy, and for us it has helped tremendously our enforcement and our legal processes in prosecuting offenders. Then the TrueScan, the text messaging system has put the power of detection of counterfeit drugs in the hand of the average Nigerian consumer, and has further recruited them into the vanguard of the campaign. But on the other hand, the TrueScan is a device by Nafdac that enables us to test on the spot the quality of a drug. It's a handheld device, so it is a regulatory tool for Nafdac, not for the consumer. So we have other checklists of other technologies that we have deployed. We have the black eye, we have the radio frequency identification scheme, and as I speak with you now, we're also in the process. We're already trying to discuss with Nicomsat, one of the parastatals under the ICT